This place is incredibly busy. So the reason why we are here between Edirne and Istanbul, it's because Bera is waiting for an important package. This is the chef. And he had to pay 70 euros for unpaid tolls. I didn't go to say anything because I know that this wouldn't change the problem, and this is how they do it in these countries, in poorer countries. That's how they roll here.
You don't know which water to drink and if it's safe.
We are Aldo, Vera and Toto. For over 5 years, we have been driving around the world with our self-converted tiny home on wheels, and we visited more than 50 countries on 5 continents. Next destination, Africa. Through our videos, we show how beautiful, but at the same time, how fragile our planet is, hoping to raise awareness about environmental concerns and inspire people to take action. Subscribe to our channel, enjoy our adventure.
Guys, we are at the truck stop in Turkey. It's a rest area with all the services apart the possibility to refuel. And we chose it because they sought to be more quiet, avoiding the passage of many vehicles that needed to fill up their car. But we were so wrong. This place is incredibly busy. It's strategically positioned near to the border between Turkey and Europe. So if you come from north, it will be Bulgaria, or if you come from west, it will be Greece. And you get all this traffic of trucks that enter and exit Turkey. It's incredible, like a continuous rotation. Now I'm gonna finish to have breakfast and then I'm gonna take you for a quick tour. So the reason why we are here between Edirne and Istanbul, it's because Bera is waiting for an important package, and unfortunately there has been some delays, and this is why we are not in Istanbul yet. We prefer to avoid big cities because they are dangerous, there is traffic and so on. So this is the picnic area. Now, I don't know if Turkish people are very tall or I am very short, but you know, my chin is right on the level with the plate here. Maybe, I don't know, they eat something quick and then they continue on the road. But these are very beautiful tables made of stone. There's 4 of them. We are surrounded by trees. Right there where we parked with Toto, it's the car parking area, and over there is where the truck parks. But obviously the early bird gets the worm, so the first that arrives gets the best place. There are toilets. We are in Turkey, so they got the Turkish toilet. It's a squat toilet. That I think to be the most hygienic after your own toilet, because you avoid involuntarily touching some surfaces or the seat, and you also do it in the natural way, the squat position. The toilets are free, so you don't pay the usual coins at the entrance like other stops, and there is also the possibility to take a shower, which costs 10 Turkish lira. That is about a bit less than €1. Also, there is a car wash. Well, mainly it's a truck wash. There is this group of guys, among them there is also a Syrian man, that they work non-stop 24 hours, so it's not very pleasant, very sad situation, but at least he's got a job, and they work like crazy. It's incredible the amount of trucks that pass through here. There is the chance to fill up your water. There are 3 taps. It should be potable, but I don't think it's safe to drink. For that, in Turkey, we have adopted another solution we will tell you later, because we also need to fill up our tanks, our canisters. Everything is very simple, very modest. The restaurant is behind here. As you enter, they got all the tobacco, spirits, and there is a buffet where they serve fresh local food. Guys, this is the chef. Simple, like rice, beans, soups. There is also a bit of meat. and the prices are very competitive. You know, where truck drivers eat, usually it's always a good place to stop. And with a few euros, for 3-4 euros, you can have a good meal. The service is very nice. They work 24 hours also inside the restaurant, and the bread is included in the price, and they also include the chai, the Turkish tea, that basically if you don't tell them to stop, they will continue bring you tea after tea. And this was very bad on the first night because we hardly had any sleep. So much is potent, so much is strong, this Turkish tea. Talking about cordiality and friendly stuff, the waiter just brought us some chai, some tea. Outside they don't bring the glass because it may break, but it's nice to see they got some wooden stirrer and some paper. So we really had a pleasant stay. When we could set out the solar panel, we did so, but the other day was cloudy. In fact, you see there are some passing clouds now. And the owner kindly allowed us to stay inside and recharge our power station. Now, if you remember the video, which I link up here, I didn't know how long it would take to recharge the power station, the Bluetti, with the socket wall. Now I know it takes about 6 hours to fully recharge it. The reason why I wanted to share this experience with you and tell you about the truck stops, it's that we think this is a very good alternative here in Turkey because the campsites are few and rare, and also the prices are high comparing to the facilities that they offer. So this could be a very good alternative for one night or two, for example. Unfortunately, we haven't seen any recycling bins around, even though just outside the entrance they got a few different ones for paper, plastic, metal. And sadly, last night we noticed that they burnt their trash, their rubbish, and we were wondering, because I don't know if you remember one of our previous video, we talked about the plastic in the oceans, and we thought, what is the worst of the two? Whether let the plastic finish in the oceans or incinerate, burn all this trash. And well, obviously the solution is not to use these things, is to reduce our waste. But we would like to ask you, according to your knowledge, to what do you think, and maybe if you drop a line in the comments, what do you think, which one is the worst of the two? Burning the plastic or leaving it in landfill that then it ends up in the oceans? We are curious to know what you think. As we are now on a motorway, I'd like to provide you some very important information about tolls in Turkey. One of our friends, a motorbiker, just came back from a trip in this country, and he had to pay 70 euros for unpaid tolls. Many people don't know the rules, and these apply not just for your own vehicle, camper and so on, but also if you rent a car. So it's very important to check this also with your rental company. Basically, in Turkey, you have to go to the PTT, which is the post office, and together with your driving license, passport and car documents, you have to fill in a little form. And you have the option to purchase a sticker that goes on the windscreen with a little metal magnetic bar, or a plastic card if you don't want to put anything on the glass. The cost of the sticker is 12 liras and 50 cents, while the card costs 25. Now, inevitably, if you come to Turkey and you want to go to Istanbul, for example, there is the Bosphorus passage, there is the Canal of Istanbul that you have to cross it over a bridge. And the fare there is about 10 liras, so it's around €1. But the fine, if you don't pay the fare in advance, will be 11 times. So what should have cost just €1, you will end up paying 11, and you do this a couple of times, and that's how the final amount will stack up. Once you purchase the sticker or a card, you have to put some credit on it because it works on a prepaid basis, and also you can check your balance just by logging into their website. This is something very important to do, so remember that tolls are paid in Turkey. There is no unmanned or automatic toll booth, so it's all done electronically, and the fare has to be paid in advance. We explain how the process works on the customs when you do the border crossing already in our previous video, so have a look at it because they know everything about you. It's all in the system. If you don't pay the tolls, when you will leave the country, they will have your registration number and you will have to pay a huge fine, otherwise you will be blacklisted and you will not be able to re-enter the country in the future. They will let you out, but you will have problems if one day you would like to come back here.
As you know, drinkable water is one of the most important vital and precious thing we have, especially for the travelers, as you don't know which water to drink and if it's safe. Depending on the country we are, we always tend to adopt a green and sustainable solution. We do some research in advance, and if in the country the water is safe to drink, we take it from water fountains, from tap water. But if it's not, like for example in India and Turkey, we try to adopt an alternative solution.
So for Turkey, the solution that we adopted is to use these companies that they provide bottled water. In this case, a 20-liter canister only costs 6.5 Turkish lira. That is about 60 euro cent. If you imagine the prices of a 2-liter water bottle, you can already see it's a big saving. But also, more important, we are doing something good for the planet, not contaminated with additional single-use plastic. And this is something good, especially if we think of our children. Another benefit that you must consider buying the water this way is that they rely on continuously receiving the empty canister and filtering the water. So, the water that sits inside these containers is much more shorter comparing to the one that can stay for months or years in the plastic bottles. So how do we do it? We basically have our own containers, and we ask the person in the shop just to refill us for the water, so we don't have to pay the price of the big canister. It's simple, it's very easy, and there are no more excuses. And you also take advantage to a little bit of workout. Okay, thank you. This is the owner of the company here, the shop here, so he was very kind to let us film. We would like to thank him because he's doing a really good job, which is thinking green and sustainable. Very good. Thank you so much. Teşekkür ederim, and very good.
Thank you, thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Driving around the world. So guys, we moved a bit further south, closer to Istanbul, and we stop in another rest area, a truck stop. The layout is very similar. On the right it's parking for the cars, on the left it's for the trucks. In the middle there is a green area, picnic tables, and a little restaurant with a market where you can buy even fruits and veggies. So it's a bit more organized in here, more cozier. At night the lights are lit on in different colors, and we notice that the bathrooms are cleaner, and also there is less traffic in here, so you can stay more quieter and tranquil.
Sadly, they've got recycling bins. I say sadly because it's a bit like a joke, as punctually every morning everything is gathered together into a black bin liner and thrown down the hill in a field right next to the premises. I didn't go to say anything because I know that this wouldn't change the problem, and this is how they do it in these countries, in poorer countries. That's how they roll here. And one thing you must know, this is something that probably many of you don't know, but in Europe we play the cool guys, you know, the roads clean and the recycling bins and so on, but most of the trash in many European countries and UK, it's sent out to poorer countries like Asia, like China, like Turkey. And China since 2017 has stopped accepting some kind of plastic, so now Europe is finding other way to dispose of their trash. So how can we expect, if we don't have our own facilities, enough structures to recycling our own waste in Europe, the government, how can they think that a poorer country can have these sort of facilities? It's very stupid. The solution is at the beginning. We always tend to say to people, do not recycle. Recycling is not the solution. Don't think because you put it in the bin you are doing a great thing for the environment. The solution is not to use it, is to think before buying things, is to reuse as much as possible, because a word such as disposable, it doesn't exist. The trash, the plastic that my grandparents were throwing away in the 70s is still here today, and it will be here for hundreds of thousands of years. So we have the duty to tell you these things, because remember, you changing your way, your lifestyle, and becoming more sustainable, you won't be doing a favor to us or to the other people, but you will do it to your own self and your own kids. We are entering Istanbul.
Wow.
There is some really bad storm for the next 10 days.
We are officially lost.
Ragazzi, delfini! I think we have arrived.
Yes. It's called Misir Karshishi.
Misir Karshish.
Inside the bazaar, 180. Outside, 68.
We got a confession to make. The parcel has arrived, but not alone.